Good evening, gentlemen. How are we doing this evening? It's a pretty hype day, right? It's been a good day. FTFO just got done watching the day in the life video called Insights in BTS. Thank you for watching, my friend. Good to have you back. Found FPV footage. Yo, pretty hyped about the O4. Too bad I recently went into the WalkSnail ecosystem with a VRX and Moonlight 4K. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You fly whatever you want to fly, bro. It's all good. What's going on? You all feeling good? So today's been quite a big one, isn't it? We've had a pretty important release for us FPV fanatics. So I figured now is as good a time as ever. First of all, I haven't got one. I haven't purchased one. DJI have not sent me one because I'm clearly not important enough. But I think there's some really interesting things that we need to talk about with the O4 Air Unit. I have some mixed feelings to start off with, but there's some really interesting things that I think we need to talk about. So we'll let some people join, and then we'll have a chat. But in the meantime, fire some questions at me. Who has watched the new Day in the Life video that got released earlier today? Pretty fun one. Some of you may have seen the editing session for that video that I did. I haven't released the full fly through yet, as it's only just been sent to the client for approval. But I think we're going to be adding text, some 3D track text into that video, so it's not quite done yet. But we're getting there. FTFO checked, and there's no Cinebot pre-order with the O4, only the Cinelog. Yes, that's a thing right now. I kind of feel like GEPRC are leaning more towards the Cinelog series. And they've got the Cinelog O4. Only problem I have with it, though, is it's only 4S, which is disappointing. I don't like flying 4S unless I'm flying something sub 250. Reason for that is I don't think it'll carry a full-size GoPro, which is a shame. I think we'll get one. I don't feel like the Cinebot's dead because I feel like it's a really popular frame. So we'll see what happens. It's still early days. You know, iFlight have got some quads come out with the O4, which are now purchasable. GEPRC have a few which are pre-order only at the moment. So I think there's still time. There's still time. Yeah, I hope they do eventually bring out an O4. But maybe their thinking is with the Cinelog, because it looks quite small, kind of flimsy. I guess their thinking is, why would you need to put a GoPro on it if the O4 is as good as everyone's saying it is? I have some questions around that, though. Jordy Craig, I was just watching your latest Day in the Life video when the notification came up this live. I'll catch up on it later. Yeah, nice, buddy. Well, thanks for watching, mate. Appreciate that. Very much appreciate that. Pressy, hey, mate. How you doing? I don't know why I say your name like that. Been live for long? About 3 or 4 minutes, mate. So you have not missed anything yet. I've not started talking about the O4 series. So we're going to go into that. I've been brushing up on my knowledge of it. So I was in London today doing another shoot. Another office fly-through today. They are coming thick and fast, these office fly-throughs. They are loving it. So, yeah, I got the notification that they dropped it and couldn't really do anything. So I listened to a couple of videos on the way home. Cars, what's going on, my boy? Hello, man. What's your flight time with a full GoPro on the Cinebot? It's about 6 minutes, so it's not great. But then, does it need to be any longer than that? How many FPV videos are over 6 minutes long? Not many. And you've seen the way I film. I break stuff down, so I don't really need it to be any longer than that. But I fly heavy. I do fly heavy. I wanted Pressy, but had to make it work. Nah, fair enough, mate. I just keep saying it that way. Mr. Ramtech, I was planning to pop over to the West End to pick up one from the DJI store until I found out it will not fit in any of my quads. Yeah, that's a big problem, right? It's too freaking big. It's a good reason for that, though, because it's got a massive sensor in it. That's why. Because the sensor is huge. It's way bigger than anything we've had before. So they've almost had no choice but to change the mounting pattern because of how big the sensor is. But yeah, it's a pain. It's not going to be as easy as we thought, guys, to just drop it into our existing quads, is it? It's going to be a pain. I mean, the actual Air unit itself is about the same size as the O3 Air unit, and it's got the same connection. So you could literally take the O3 Air unit out, stick in the O4, plug it in, and you're good to go. But obviously the problem is with the camera, right? The camera's too bloody big. Yeah. Smirk. Hand purple blue piece. Okay. I'm guessing that was meant to be an emoji. FTFO, what aspect ratio is your stream? Looks like 21:9, or maybe, yeah, it is 21:9 because I'm on an ultra wide monitor. And I didn't want to change the screen to 16:9. So yeah, apologies if it looks weird, but any information I'm going to show, it's going to be enlarged, so you'll be able to see it. It's all good. So yes, I'm good, mate. I've just said I've just been in London all day, a little tired. Did another fly through in London today. Nice short one actually. Only took about an hour and a half, so it was a nice small office. It was a good one. Pressy. Is the O4 identical to the Avata 2, or have they made any adjustments? So the Avata 2 is the O3. So yeah, it's totally different. Lots of different. So it begs the question, are we now expecting an Avata 3? I'm sure that's in the pipeline now. They can't release an FPV camera. Although, how long was it from when the O3 came out till we got the Avata 2? That's a question, because I'm pretty sure the O3 came first, right? So how long was it between the O3 coming out and the Avata 2? Probably going to expect a similar time frame, I would have thought, with these. But yes, Avata 3 will undoubtedly have the O4 Air unit. So yes, it's not identical though. Yeah, there's quite a big difference, and I've put together a lovely spreadsheet for us to go through all of the differences, and also made a comparison with the GoPro Hero 13 to see how that stacks up, because that is another big question that needs answering. Nicholas Liotti, O4 is already sold out in Italy. Yeah, that's to be expected, mate. I think we're going to have the same everywhere else. So yeah, although you can't stick it in anything yet, everyone wants one. But yeah, I'm holding out. I'm not one to ever jump on the DJI hype train, because a lot of the stuff you see on YouTube is total bullshit. And they will get paid to do their reviews, so I'm waiting for the actual proper reviews. Actually, I watched the Joshua Bardwell one. He's always very reliable. And Chris Rosser as well. Very, very good reviews from both of them. They were both impressed. And I think it is impressive. I just think there's some question marks. DJI Avata released in August 2022. DJI Air 3 unit released in November 2022. Okay. So that's what? September, October, November. 3 months. So could we be looking at an Avata 3 release in April? Interesting question, isn't it? Because it's coming. It's going to be coming for sure. And the compatibility. So this is an interesting thing that DJI have done. So normally, so when was it? When the Avata, when the O3 came out, it was originally only compatible with the Goggles 2. And then they made it then compatible with the Goggles V2. But straight out the gate, we've got the DJI, the 3 goggles, the N3. It's also compatible with the Integra and the Goggles 2. So we've almost got like full compatibility apart from the V2 goggles, which are massively outdated anyway, so we won't talk about them. But that's good. So if you've got the V2 goggles, or sorry, the Goggles 2 already, you don't need to upgrade to a Goggles 3, which is good. The thing I don't like about the Goggles 3 is you have the built-in battery. So, and frequently on shoots, I'll go through 2 or 3 batteries. So I need something that I can swap in and swap out. Yeah. Cars. Do you find the O3 range to be limiting on your jobs? Yes, very much so. It depends. Well, it depends. So if you're flying outside in an area, you know, out in the countryside, let's say a racetrack, it's pretty good because there's minimal interference. As soon as you step into a town where you've got loads of Wi-Fi interference and electrical fields, etc., it struggles. It's pretty good inside though. It penetrates pretty well, but it has its limitations like anything. And again, this is another question about the O4 Air Unit, is with the O3, they're saying a maximum transmission range of 10 kilometers, and that's in ideal settings. I mean, I've never, ever been able to push it anywhere near as far as that in any situation, so remains to be seen. They're now saying 15 kilometers with the DJI O4 Air Unit Pro. Again, when are you ever going to fly an FPV drone 15 kilometers? I mean, it's never going to get that far in any situation, so yes. But the interesting question is, and this is the deal breaker for me, is will it provide better penetration indoors through walls? Because that's the most important thing for me, I think, in this whole conversation. So we'll look at that as well. Found footage FPV. What's your opinion comparing the G3 versus the Integra and G2? So when I first got the Goggles 2, and I'd switched over from the Goggles V2, I was very shocked and underwhelmed, I think is the thing to say. In the Goggles V2, you had this huge screen. You could see right the way to the edges. And when I went into the Goggles 2, I really struggled to see the edges of the screen. They were more comfortable, but yeah, I wasn't that impressed. I've gotten used to them now, but they're far from ideal. The Goggles 3 was so much better. A friend of mine bought the Avata 2 with the Goggles 3, and oh my god, they were amazing. But yeah, the only reason I haven't upgraded to them is because you can't swap the battery in and out, which is a problem for me. Although I have had people who've been powering the Goggles 3 from a power bank, so I need to look into that potentially. But yeah, I thought the G3 were much better than the Integras or the G2s. Hard mounted battery sucks. Yeah, it does, mate. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I don't know why they did that. I think that was a silly move by DJI, but there you go. FPV Kevlar, great video, bro. I just found your channel and subbed. Oh, thank you very much, mate. Appreciate that. Hope you enjoyed it. It's always good to have a new sub on the channel, and you're joining a live stream, so that's even better. So yeah, right. Should we get started on the conversation? Shall we take a look in depth at the O4 Air Unit and have a conversation? Because I think there needs to be a conversation. We've been talking about it in the Discord channel between ourselves and in comments and stuff. And the question is, am I going to look to upgrade the O4 Air Unit when it comes out? And my answer up until now has been, there's not really much point, because I don't film on the O3 Air Unit. I simply use it as a way to see where I'm going when I'm flying. I don't record on it. In my opinion, the O3 is nowhere near as good as a GoPro. Yeah, so we'll go into the details, but up until that was my stance even up until this afternoon. I was kind of like, it's cool that they brought it out. It's gonna do a lot for FPV. There's obviously 2 versions of it, but will I upgrade? Probably not, because I'm using GoPros, so I don't really need to. But I think watching a few videos, by Joshua Bardwell and Chris Rosser, looking at the specs, there's definitely some interesting questions, and I'm almost swaying towards at least trying it out, getting a quad with it built in and seeing what it's like, because it may have potential of replacing the GoPro. and it pains me to say it, but I think it's getting close now. It really, really is getting close. Take a couple more questions, and I'm going to flick through this webpage and just have a look. FPV Kevlar. Oh, you've got some vids. That's cool. So I'll check those out for sure. I'll have a look on YouTube. Nicholas Iotti. I think the upgrade from the O3 to the O4 is not crazy, but the O4 is very interesting for tiny whoops. Yes, that's not really something I've properly thought about. I don't really fly tiny whoops, but yes, the the Air Unit Lite version is actually, I think, more exciting than the Pro version. FTFO Media, in the image on the screen, is the camera not plugged in? It doesn't look like it. I'm guessing this is just a... yeah, I don't know why they've gone for this image. It is a bit weird, isn't it? I don't... it's a bit strange. But I'm guessing it's just... it almost looks like they didn't finish it. They didn't finish the render in time. Anyway, yeah, but it's definitely not plugged in. So that one wouldn't work. Interesting looking drone, though. Imagine if they did look like that. Bruno, hello, mate. How you doing? Good to have you in the stream. Thanks for popping in. I'm going to call you Rostislav. Moskvitin. Almost got there. What is better, the GEPRC 30 or the 35? I'm guessing you're talking about the Cinelog rather than the Cinebot, which is what I fly. I don't know if better. It depends what you want to do with it. If I was doing internal fly-throughs, I'd probably go for the 30. But you could probably do that with a 35 as well. I suppose it depends what you want to carry. If you want to carry a full-size GoPro, maybe go for the 35. I think the 30 can handle it as well. It's probably not much in it. It depends. Bigger quads are harder to fly inside, so that's probably worth bearing in mind. It depends how big the space is. If you're flying in a small house, go for the 30, or even a 25. If you're flying in a bigger warehouse, a 35, it depends. Also, the 35 is going to be better in wind. So, FTFO Media, is it worth having the O4 as redundancy if the GoPro fails? Well, I'd just have another GoPro, wouldn't I? I probably wouldn't have the O4 as redundancy. Oh, you mean... Yeah, I mean, if I was... It depends. I mean, if you... Right, okay, I think I know what you're getting at here. So if it was a really complex shot that you had to get first time, and it was the only chance you were going to get it, yes, absolutely. That's a really great shout. Yeah. So that's a really good question. Yes, I think it's probably the first time that you've ever had an onboard camera which you could have as a redundancy, because the O3 it wouldn't have been passable, I don't think. I don't think the quality is good enough. But that's a really good point. Whitey, hey mate, welcome to the stream. I don't think we've seen you in here before. In my opinion, the footage is subpar compared to the bitrate and light stops from dark to light transitions, etc. Assuming with the O4 Air Unit in comparison to the GoPro. Yeah, that's probably my biggest concern. I got a DJI Action 5 not long ago, and I was massively underwhelmed by how it performed in light transitions. It was actually really bad, and I haven't used it again since. So that's a really good point. Cars, I really hope the light version will be somehow fixed for 1S. I think the minimum voltage is too high for 1S. No, I think it's 1S to 3S, isn't it? That's what Bardwell was saying in his video. So I think it can have a 1S tiny whoop digital. I think it's rated for 1 to 3S, so I think we're good. Bruno, not bad, mate. Keep up the great videos. Thank you very much, mate. Really appreciate that. Gonna do a little plug. So I've got a Discord channel now set up, and there's some of us guys in there. We've got Cars. We've got I've forgotten your bloody name. Pressy. Yeah, we got him in there as well. We're having some good chats in there today, weren't we, lads? It was good. So if you want to get access to the Discord, go onto my Patreon. It's in the link in the description. A small donation gets you access to the Discord. We've got lots of cool stuff going on, lots of nice benefits, and you also get early access to a any of the day in the life videos as well. So it's cool. It's a good place to come hang out. We've got a nice little community in there. And yes, my channel is now also monetized, which is awesome. So I can now earn a little bit of revenue off of making these videos. But your support also counts. So you also have the ability to make super chats. So if you fancy donating, thank you very much. If not, absolutely no problem at all. Give a little shout out to that. Tegma FPV, what do you think TPU mounts will come out so we can swap the O3 to the O4? So Chris Rosser is currently working on some mounts, although I don't know what quads they are for. But I think we're going to see some mounts coming out on Thingiverse pretty quickly. So hopefully if you've got a popular quad, you should be able to switch it out in the next month or so, I would imagine. So I don't think it's going to be long. Yes, the DJI Action 5 was way worse than the GoPro 13. I absolutely hated it. I would never. I was literally sat on my desk there. Low light performance was amazing. I cannot fault it for that. But the low bit rate, when I used it, it was locked to 50. I know it's gone up since then to I think 130, but again, still not high enough. My bit rate on the GoPro is at 200. Set in GoPro Labs, and you know, for me, it makes a massive difference for commercial work. So yeah, I wouldn't use the DJI Action 5 again. Although I'm pretty sure it's the same sensor, isn't it? Let's look that up. DJI Action 5 Pro specs. I'm pretty sure this is the same sensor. Correct me if I'm wrong. 1 over 1.3 inch, 120. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the same sensor, guys. And again, the way it handled, yeah, it's the same sensor. I'm pretty sure it's exactly the same sensor. And it's a great sensor. I just don't think they had it dialed in. I still don't think they have it dialed in. The way it handles transition, if you're filming outside, I'm sure it's absolutely fine. And I think you get away with it. But what I found in a lot of my work is internal fly-throughs, it could not handle light transitions like the GoPro does. I also noticed when I was flying under spotlights, it was just freaking out. It couldn't handle it. And when you're flying inside, you almost have to fly in auto shutter because of the changing lighting conditions. These cameras are not, the sensors are not good enough to be able to change it in post. So yeah, it struggled. It just wasn't usable. So I'm wondering if this is going to have the same issues, which again would make me really weary about using it professionally. If you're flying outside, I'm sure it'll be more than fine. Congrats on the monetization. Thank you very much, my man. It's it's been a bit of a crazy journey so far. I can't believe how things have really blown up. Prezi, did you say iFlight have some? Yes, they have. I don't know if it's Nazgul. Jump on the iFlight website. They've got some quads ready to ship on there. Some really interesting looking ones actually. Yes, at Prezi, pretty much all of their quads have O4 on board. Yeah. So if you want an O4, get ordering because they're all on there. Hopefully they release TPU mounts for the Evoke. I'm sure someone will at some point. It's not going to take long for someone to do that. I want to upgrade mine, but don't have a 3D printer. Someone's going to be selling them soon, mate. Don't worry about it. It's all good. Right, okay, let's dive in a little bit. Let's have a look. So, O4 transmission system, ultra low latency for responsive controls, paired with a dual antenna design with the O4 Pro unit, max transmission distance of 15 kilometers. Yeah, okay, sure, show me. And the system automatically selects the most stable frequency, whether soaring over mountains or rivers, navigating indoor spaces. Oh, okay, it's actually put indoor spaces. Interesting. You can perform confidently and with precision. So, max transmission rate 1080p at 100 frames per second, which I don't think is actually any different to what we got in the O3. Obviously, transmission range 15 kilometers. Okay, and ultra low latency video transmission 15 milliseconds. Although that is variable, so it's not locked. And max video transmission bitrate 60 megabits a second. Of course, the O3 was 50. We'll ignore their footage. You've obviously got this new racing mode, which Introduces a new racing mode with lower video latency, and it supports up to 8 aircraft racing simultaneously. So it means you don't take up basically all of the bandwidth in the channel you're flying in. So you're not going to be taking other people's quads out and falling out the sky, etc. Which is not particularly interesting to me, but if you're a racer, yes, it's pretty awesome. And we've obviously got a 1/1.3 inch sensor, which is the same as the DJI Action 5, as well as the Mini 4 Pro and the DJI Air 3S. And the light unit is just a 1/2 inch sensor, which is pretty awesome still. We've also got D-Log M, 4K at 120 FPS. That was weird. I was just watching that video and it was just doing something really strange. They've obviously added in some shakiness to make it look even worse. So the stabilization looked even better. That's funny. Cars, O4 Lite 3.7 to 13.2. Input, so that's a bit high, right? 3.7 is what I usually fly to 3.6 typically, so that leaves no room for error. Yeah, it'll be fine. But yeah, I think it's 1S to 3S essentially. I want to see the shot again, where they've obviously added in a load of like artificial shake, which is funny. Yeah, this. What? If my quad was flying like that, I'd fucking send it back. I also think the ND filters for the O3 unit, or the Avarted 2, are the same for this, so you can use those, which is cool. Anything else? 32 grams, cool. And then 8.2 for the. That's amazing. 8.2 grams for the light version. That's crazy. Compatible with the DJI Goggles 3 and the N3. Also compatible with the DJI Goggles 2 and the Integra. Supporting the use of the DJI FPV remote controller 2. Doesn't bother me because I'm on Express ELRS. It's a cool looking thing. I'll give it that. And obviously we've got dual antennas now, whereas we didn't before with the O3. So yeah. What? Built-in storage, 4 GB in the Pro version, but 23 GB in the O4 Air unit. That's pretty cool. I don't think it's got an SD slot, has it? So that's probably why. Oh yeah, does not support micro SD card expansion. Right, so that's why they've given that. Compatible drone frames 3 inches and above and 2 inches and above. All right, cool. Shall we have a look at the specs? I've drawn out. Quad is drunk. Get some rest. Yes, I agree. Or the person editing the video is drunk. Either way, it looks shit. Right, I've got a tasty little spreadsheet I've put together so we can have a proper look at this and have a bit of a debate, because I think there is a debate to be had. Where's my water? Because my throat hurts already. Thank you guys for sticking with me. I didn't think we'd have this many on the stream tonight. I've streamed way too much this week, I think. Although you guys seem to have enjoyed it, so that's cool. Microphone sound alright? I've put it a little bit further back. Does it still sound loud enough? If not, I can turn the gain up a bit. Just let me know. Okie dokie. So hopefully you can see this little spreadsheet I've put together. So what I want to do is compare the O4, the O3 and the Hero 13 Black. And I think this is a conversation because I think we are getting pretty close now. Where maybe we won't have to be running GoPros soon. Who knows? I don't think we're there yet though. I'll explain why. So max live feed. So this is in the goggles. This is not what's recording onto the SD card. So 180, 1080p at 60 megabits a second, which is obviously slightly higher than the 1080p 50 megabits a second we got with the DJI Air unit. So does that make a massive difference? Maybe if you want to see like telephone wires or leaves or branches, yeah, that could help. It's always going to help a little bit. Is that game changing? Probably not. Onboard recording, so 4K 60 or 120 FPS, 130 megabits a second, and supports D-Log M. which is personally a color profile that I don't like. I don't really like D-Log M. I prefer the original D-Log. Much flatter, much easier for color grading. It does also have what's it called? Color correction. So when you're flying in the goggles, you don't have to see the flat color profile. It essentially slaps a lot on top of it, so it looks better when you're flying. It's not so washed out. In the O3 Air unit, we got 4K 60 at 120 FPS. Interestingly, we got a higher bit rate with the O3 Air unit, which is important. So strange choice there from DJI. I'm not sure about that one. No D-Log M only supports D-Cine-alike, and D-Cine-alike is freaking shite. It's awful. It's a terrible color profile. They had it on the DJI Mini 3 Pro. I hated it. Ever since, as soon as I bought the DJI Mini 3 Pro, I didn't like it. I didn't like the color profile. I thought it was terrible. Okay, and then looking at that in comparison to the GoPro Hero 13 Black, because I think that's really important. So, and I feel like DJI have missed a bit of a trick on this, because I always bang on about the resolution of the GoPro, and having 5.3K at a maximum of 60 FPS, I wouldn't ever use 120 FPS, and if I did, I'd just go to 4K to get higher FPS on the GoPro. But I've never needed it. But having that extra 1.3K is a big deal to me, because if you're filming at 4K and you're stabilizing it, you're gonna have to crop it down, and then it's not really 4K anymore. Whereas if you're filming at 5.3K, it crops down and it's still more than 4K. And then if you stick it in a 4K timeline, it's even better. It's even sharper, better resolution. And then you also get the 10-bit log that comes with the Hero 13 Black and the Hero 12 Black. And I really like the log profile on the GoPro. I think it's really, really good. So for me, in that sense, the GoPro wins hands down. So yeah, another reason to stick with the GoPro for now. Storage, you've got a micro SD card slot plus 4GB internal memory on the O4 Air unit. And then you've got on the Air 3, interestingly enough, micro SD card slot, same, but you've got 20GB of internal storage. Interesting again. So I wonder why they've decided to go for a smaller internal storage on the Air 3 unit. It's probably, sorry, on the O4 unit. It's probably to save weight, I imagine. Let's have a look at some questions quickly. One from Jake. Welcome, Jake. Thanks for joining the stream. What part of England do you live in? I live in the USA, but my wife grew up in Kent, England. Her mum's side lives in Liverpool. Oh, cool, man. So I'm just outside of Reading. Not far from Kent. Kent's only an hour and a half to 2 hours away. So, yeah. But Liverpool is way up north. Yeah, Liverpool's a cool city. So, yeah, thanks for joining the stream, mate. Keep the questions coming in, guys. Always enjoy answering your questions, but you probably just want to listen to me talk crap at the moment. Bit rate. So this for me is the killer. This is the straw that broke the camel's back. So that's wrong. So that should be 150, shouldn't it? I messed that up. I put that one in there. So max bit rate on the O4 Air unit is 130 megabits a second, which is good. It's not bad, but it's not 150 megabits a second from the O3 Air unit. So I don't know why DJI have made that decision. That seems interesting. That is more in line with the DJI Action 5 though, and I'm pretty sure it's the same camera. But again, the GoPro, if you use GoPro Labs, which most of us FPV pilots are, you can crank it up to 200 megabits a second, which is huge. Having an extra 70 megabits a second over the O4. That for me, you know, using this professionally is a big deal. Because at 130 megabits a second, you can see artifacts. You do get artifacts, especially in the shadows. So, and what I don't see in the GoPro is artifacts, compression artifacts. So, again, for me, that's another big reason to stay with the GoPro for now. Max Pakek, haven't seen you before in the stream, mate. Welcome. Do you think there's a big difference using Goggles 2 or Goggles 3 on the Air 4 unit, I don't know. I don't think resolution wise, no, you're not going to get anything extra apart from if you use the O4 unit on the Goggles 2, you'll be maxing out at 50 megabits a second. Is that a game changer? Probably not. Is it going to make a massive difference to your life? Probably not. So if you've got the Goggles 2, I wouldn't, and you're used to them, and you weren't already going to upgrade to the Goggles 3, I probably wouldn't bother. I will say though, and I said this earlier, is the Goggles 3 are much better than the Goggles 2, despite not having interchangeable batteries. But apparently you can run them off a power bank. Someone told me earlier, but I'm not convinced. I haven't researched that, so I'm not sure. OSD support, obviously Betaflight and iNav, same as the O3, and for the GoPro that's not applicable. So I think the next one is the biggest one, the image sensor. So 1/1.3 inch sensor with an f-stop of 2.8. So that is a massive sensor for an onboard camera for an FPV drone. It's the biggest we have ever had. And that's huge. That's a big deal because, you know, we talk about resolution and everything else, but actually the thing that matters in a camera is the sensor size. How much light you let in onto that sensor is how well it's going to perform in low light. And like I said, the DJI Action 5, which I'm pretty sure has the same sensor in it, is incredible in low light. There's no doubting that at all. And in comparison to the O3 Air Unit, which is a 1/1.7 inch sensor, which is smaller. And then look at this. This is really interesting. So the GoPro Hero 13 Black is a 1/1.9 inch sensor with an f-stop of 2.5. So that's quite a big difference. So that sensor in the O4 Air Unit is a lot bigger than the Hero Black, which would explain the low light performance. So I think image sensor is really important, but I would say the GoPro handles low light pretty well, and there's things you can do to fix it as well. So for me, is that a deal breaker? No. I certainly was disappointed when the Hero 13 Black came out and it still had that tiny little sensor in it. So hence why I tried out the Action 5, but was disappointed and switched back to the GoPro. So same situation, I think, for me. That doesn't warrant me switching. 1M Monkeys. I'm not going to change my Cadex Vistas or GoPros, but in Whoops, finally, it's time for a change for me. Get rid of the nakeds and those 4/360s are more than enough for events in real estate. Yeah, absolutely, mate. I agree with that. It's a bit of, like I said, I think the most impressive thing here is the O4 Air Unit, the light version. I think that's the standout with this. Definitely, I would agree with that. Had a little sub on there. That was cool. Antennas, dual antennas. I guess the O3 was dual antenna, but it had one antenna, but you could have stuck dual antenna on it anyway. Built-in stabilization, rock steady, same as before, and then obviously GoPro has its own native one. Max RF output, so 33 dBm against 30 dBm for the O3. Maximum range, well, we know this was 15 and the O3 was 10. I don't know why that's gone over to Oscar Liang. I did pull this information off of there. Input voltage 2S to 6S. I think that's for the Pro version. The light version is 1 to 3. And then weight. So the O4 is lighter than, I think that's probably got something to do with the onboard storage actually. There's those weight differences, and then obviously a GoPro is 159 grams with the camera and mounting fingers, but 125 grams without the battery, so significant weight saving there, that's for sure. But then if you're using a naked GoPro, you're probably down in this sort of weight range anyway, so and you can easily make a Hero 12 naked, so yeah. Price, so $229 for the O4 Air Unit, similar to the O3 when it came out. GoPro is around $420, but you can probably pick it up for a lot cheaper than that if you look around. And transmission range is not $420. That makes no sense. So yeah, it's a bit of a rundown of the specs. So for me, I'm going to wait for a little while because I think the GoPro is still going to be better. You know, GoPro have been doing this for a long time, and the way it works with light transitions is second to none, in my opinion. And it's not worth me switching. So it begs the question, will I be switching to O4? Well, is there even any point in someone like me using an O4 Air Unit at the moment? Probably not. You know, there's certainly no reason for me to switch out any of my quads and install an O4 Air Unit, because I don't film with them. It's, you know, for me, it's not really going to give any benefit. I'll still use the GoPro. It's not enough for me to switch from the GoPro. So I think until we're getting a higher resolution and they've sorted out the bit rate and maybe using a proper log profile rather than D-Log-M, there's no point. For me, it doesn't make sense. But, you know, for you guys, it might make sense. You know, don't take my word as gospel, because it certainly isn't. You know, most of the time I don't know what I'm talking about. But there's nothing to stop you. It's gonna be way better than anything you've been flying before. If you've been using the O3 Air Unit, the footage you're going to get out of the O4 is going to be much better. It's got a much bigger sensor. It's going to handle low light. The dynamic range is going to be way better. So, you know, if you're upgrading from the O3 to the O4, it's a massive upgrade. It is a massive upgrade. So go for it. For me, it's just not going to work from a professional point of view. I prefer the fit on the My Goggles 2 over the Goggles 3 with a small battery and fat straps. Native 4.3 will solve the FOV fringing on the edges of the GT screens. That's right. I do fly in 4.3. I don't need to see 16:9. I want to be able to see the full size. So yes, that's absolutely right. It's just annoying when you have to try to read through the menus and it's kind of blurry. But yeah, I've gotten used to that anyway. So for me, there's no point in upgrading. FTFO Media, in the spirit of the internet, I think I'm supposed to call you a GoPro shill. Oh, nice. Yeah, I haven't got shares in GoPro. I should. Although we've seen a massive decline in GoPro. Have you noticed how the prices drop off so quickly now? Yeah, I'm a GoPro fanboy. I always have been. I think they are so good. This is the original. It's the OG. And they've just got it down. Max Spikek. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I'm probably butchering that. What do you think about the iFlight Taurus X8 Cinelifter, the new one? Oh, I was having a look at this earlier actually. Let's yeah, this stuff gets me really excited. Taurus. Is it this one? No, that's a new one, is it? Let's go. If you got a link, drop it in. Because I can't seem to find it. FPV drones, all. What is it? It's a X8. It's a 7-inch, isn't it? No, maybe is it a 10-inch? No, it can't be a 10-inch, surely. Oh, let's just type in Taurus and see what comes up. Taurus. Is it this one? The Pro Max? Yeah, oh, it is this one, isn't it? I'm pretty sure it's this one. No, that's not an... Oh, yeah, it is the X8. This one. I think it is this one. This one looks awesome. It was a picture. I came on the website and it was a picture with like a... with a Ronin on it, and it looked insane. But yeah, I think that looks amazing. Interestingly, no O4 on this. I think it's O3 only. But again, if you're flying massive cameras, you're never going to be recording on the Air Unit anyway, are you? So it doesn't really matter. Oh yeah, that's the picture I was looking at with the Ronin on it with the red camera. Yeah, fucking awesome, mate. Look at that. That gets me excited. Yeah, it looks awesome. I hit the buy for the range increase. Yeah, that's a big one. I'm interested to see, you know, how will that translate in real life. In Bardwell's video, it was a big step up from what he'd experienced before range-wise, so that was interesting. I just want to find out what it's like with penetration through walls and that sort of thing, because I think that's what's really important to me, is the penetration through walls, because that's my biggest thing. Yep, that's the one. Yeah, it looks awesome, mate. That iFlight, that's a beast, isn't it? I've got a couple of Cine lifters, not they're ×4s, not ×8s, because I'm not carrying anything as heavy as like a Red camera or, you know, DJI Ronins with cameras on them. But this year I'm going to be looking into dual op Cine lifters, because I think that's the way that I need to go. So yeah, that looks really cool. Actually, there was another interesting iFlight I saw on here earlier, actually, which I thought looked pretty cool. I didn't want the Taurus. Go back. It was this thing? It caught my eye. Oh, there it is, right there. That is a beauty, isn't it? Really nice. This thing here, the Spectre. This looks pretty cool. This thing looks dope. Apparently this shell on top just clips in, clips off, and the GoPro hangs off the bottom so you don't get any props in view. And it had like a 20-minute flight time or something. I was like, wow, this is insane. I'm not really sure what this is for. Is it if it's like a a long range or whatever? Where was it? 26 minutes with a 5600 mAh 6S LiPo with no load, and 30 minutes with a 21700 6S 8000 mAh battery. Insane flight times. This looks pretty cool. It looks awesome. Batteries are a pain in the ass for the X6. Yeah, all Cine lifter batteries are, mate. They're a fucking pain in the ass. I've got this Cine lifter and I run. And this is just a ×4, carrying a Blackmagic camera, but I run two 2200 mAh batteries on that, and yeah, it drains the shit out of them. It's a beast. What's that giant grey case you have in your day in the life videos? It should be there should be a link in the description of this video to that. It's just you want about, yeah, the big one with all my stuff in it. It's just a hard case. It's essentially just a hard flight case which I bought off of Amazon. It just happens to be really, really good. So yeah, there's a link in the description with an affiliate link. So if you want to buy one, do it with my affiliate link, and I get a little kickback from that. That'd be awesome. Max, crazy expensive if you want to continuously charge them and have two sets of, yeah, Cine lifter batteries, mate, do become really expensive. But then the jobs for Cine lifters pay a lot of money, so it kind of works out. So yeah. Did it come with a foam? Yes, it did, mate. It came with foam. They have like they're like little squares, and you can rip them out, so you can just make it however you want it. So yeah, it's really good. I think it was 230 something pounds. So probably not dissimilar from euros, being in the Netherlands. So yeah, I love it. It's made a big difference to me. Not carrying like 2 or 3 rucksacks around, which was a pain in the arse. So yeah. So what do we think? Are we going to go for the O4? What are you guys thinking? Do you think you're going to swap it out? I think if you're only using the O3, it would make sense. Although you can't install it in any of your quads at the moment, which is awesome. Yeah. So, who's joining the live stream on Saturday with the LinkedIn stuff? Who's looking forward to that one? Oh yeah, let's have a look at the iFlight quads that have come out with O4, because really this is just about O4. Which one was I saw? What was it called? That's a nice looking quad. That one, the Proxima. Looks cool. Nazgul, it wasn't that one. Let's type into Google. DJI O4 iFlight. They did have some quads already. This was it. The Cineflow 5 04 6S HD, $609. That's not cheap, is it? And that's without a receiver. So add a Express ELRS. So $625. That is expensive. Looks cool though. So, and it's in stock, so it's shipping now. So you could buy one of these right now and be the proud owner of an O4 ready quad. This one looks pretty cool actually. I was looking at these earlier and I was thinking, that looks nice. Is that a dead cat? It's a dead cat as well. So you're not going to get any props in view. So yeah, it's a cool looking quad. Is that a dead cat? Yeah, it is a dead cat, isn't it? So that's shipping now. So you could technically buy one of those and then have an O4 quad ready to go. Evening all, Altitude UAV Solutions. What's up, dude? Thank you for joining the stream. Good to have you here. Cars. I wish the Cinebot 30 had O4. Thinking just buying the O3. Yeah. I think we'll see it. I think it'll come out fairly soon. Yeah, so I mean we'll see. I think we're still really early days, aren't we? Although the GEPRC seem to be pushing their Cinelogs more than the Cinebot, which is interesting. It's Gito FPV. Welcome, my man. How's it going? Now it's a hard pick between Walksnail and DJI. Lol. Yeah, I think it is. I think DJI are edging it out though with the O4. I think it's pretty much the best you can get now, especially for image quality. Global Source, I bought a Pro for my mountain diving plane and a light for my 2S. Oh, nice. So you've actually bought it already. Mountain diving plane. That sounds cool, man. Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with it, can you? It's an awesome bit of kit. It's just not going to work for me, I don't think. Altitude UAV Solutions, I am for sure. Not sure if I will make. Oh, let's go down. The like stream for it though. Did I miss the time you are streaming? It'll be 10:30 on Saturday, or was it 10 or 10:30? I can't remember. Either or. I know it's a bit late if you're in the UK, but I'm trying to accommodate everybody as much as I can because I know everyone's tuning in from different areas across the globe. So, but yeah, this was like a last minute thing. So if you missed it, it's fine. Don't worry about it. It's all good. It's all be on playback as well. So yeah. Cars, all right. Have a nice rest of your stream. Got to go. Thank you for joining, buddy. Good to see you again. I'll catch you in the Discord. Yeah. Good times, brother. So I think we've covered everything about the O4. I mean, I haven't got one to hand. I haven't tested one yet. So what I'm saying is purely speculation and from what I've seen online so far. But again, like I said, for me, I don't think I'm going to ditch the GoPro just yet. I'd say we're getting close, but I think we need some more time to have a look at how it reacts in the similar situations to what I use them for work. So yeah, I might have to catch you on playback. That's fine. Yeah, it'll be there, mate, if I'm playback. So don't worry, that's all good. Altitude, have you joined the Discord? If you haven't, join in. I'm available to chat on Discord whenever you need me. So if there's any questions on there, you can also ask. Yeah, link in the description to that. Well, the Patreon, and then that gives you access to the Discord. So if you find my content useful, it's always appreciated, the support. So thanks, guys. Let's have a look, see how many views the new video's got. See how it's doing. The YouTube algorithm is so random, you just never know how these things are going to do. 451 views, that's pretty good. Not bad. Average view duration 13 minutes. That's more than I've had on any of the other videos. That's very good. What video was that on? What a grumpy client. He thinks he's too cool for school. No comment. I'm not going to read any of these. People are being a bit rude. Being a bit rude about my client. That's funny. I'm not saying a thing. I will remain impartial. Sorry, I have not yet. No, that's all right, mate. No pressure. It's all good. You know, whenever you're ready. It's a good little community we've got going on. It's small, but it will grow. As will hopefully my channel, and we can do lots more awesome content. I was thinking about doing a tutorial of how to build a naked GoPro from scratch. I've done a few of them myself. It's actually really easy. So I was thinking about ripping apart a Hero 12 and then sticking it in a naked case and then sticking the video on YouTube. So if you guys will find that useful, I think that's a good idea. But also give me your suggestions about what kind of content you want to see on my channel. At the end of the day, I'm here for you. Anything you think would be useful, I'm happy to do. I'm happy to take suggestions. You know, like I said, I want this to be a community where we all have some input. Jake, I usually watch your videos once everyone goes to sleep in my house and drink a couple of beers and relax. Oh, that's cool, man. That's really cool. I'm glad it can, you know, end your day and chill you out. And I like those kind of videos where it's just, you know, I will quite frequently watch the kind of outdoor camping videos, you know, camping in an RV in a storm or a snowstorm. I just find them super relaxing. It's just like you haven't really got to think about it. It's just, you know, it's almost like, what is it called? ASMR, which I just think is so strange. But, oh yeah, we could do that. It's so weird. I don't understand it, but yeah, it's like a less weird version of that, isn't it? It is just relaxing to watch and chill out to. But yeah, we will not start doing ASMR videos on this channel because that's strange. And if you watch ASMR videos, it's fine. You know, everyone's got their things that they're into. So I just personally think they're a little strange. But hey, that's the world we live in now. It's a changing world, and I'm getting older and way more grumpy than these things than I should be. So yeah, but I don't think I've got anything else to talk about. I think I've run out of steam. So yeah, you know, comment. What do you think? What are your thoughts on the O4 Air Unit? It's a big step up, I think, from the O3. Not replacing the GoPro anytime soon, though, I don't think. Based on my experience, the Action 5, and I'm pretty sure they are the same camera. So I think some of the problems that the Action 5 had will undoubtedly be in the O4 Pro Air Unit as well. But that's just my opinion. It is what it is. Sorry, but I need to go. Long drive tomorrow, and we'll catch up on playback. Take care. Happy flying. I think that's going to be me done for the night as well, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching. Love the fact you guys interact. Give me your comments. And I'm glad everyone's enjoyed the new video. I did actually film the next video today. I tried to record the DVR. It didn't work. I don't know why. So, because I haven't done it in a while. I haven't recorded the DVR for God knows how long. But I will make sure that on, not the next video, but the one after that, I have a DVR feed for you guys. I know you want to see it. And I will also make that DVR much bigger in the video so that you guys can have a proper look at the flights. But yeah, as I said, thank you very much. Appreciate you being here. If you want to support me and enjoy my content and find it useful, please sign up to the Patreon. Gets you access to the Discord channel and early access to the day in the life videos as they come out, plus some other benefits. I'm putting together some really interesting things like pricing calculators and more information on how I run my FPV business. So, like I said, thanks very much. Thanks for watching. Take care, guys. See you later.